Hey, welcome to part 2 of our teaching on church membership. We want to lay a foundation for what it actually means to be a member in the local church by looking at what the Bible has to say about this topic. Last week we asked the question, what is church membership? And we saw that membership is more than attendance or even participation in the church community. But we saw from the scriptures that membership can be summarized in 3 words. We commit, we submit, and we partner. If you haven't already, I'd encourage you to check that teaching out. Today, we're going to talk about why any of this matters at all. You've probably at one time or another thought, what's the big deal? The annual general meeting comes up, we vote for members and board members. Why is any of this important? I mean, why does membership even matter? And I want to answer that question today with 3 quick thoughts. Why do we have church membership? Reason number 1. The reason we have church membership is because membership is a legal requirement. Now, this one isn't fancy, it isn't glamorous, but it is one of the key reasons why we have it in the first place. In order to function as a charity in Canada, the Government of Canada requires that we have an up-to-date membership roster, that we have annual reports, annual elections, regular meetings with those elected members, and so on. This is the legal requirement given to us by the government. The Pentecostal Assemblies of Canada 2018 General Constitution and Bylaws says this. The Pentecostal Assemblies of Canada was established by letters patent issued by the Secretary of State of Canada on May 17, 1919, and is registered as a charitable organization with Canada Revenue Agency. Riveting stuff, I know. We are a part of the Pentecostal Assemblies of Canada. As such, we have certain legal requirements and responsibilities to fulfill. One of those is keeping an updated membership list with active church members. And because the government has put this in place, we honor and submit to them. Romans chapter 13, Paul says, "Everyone must submit to governing authorities, for all authority comes from God, and those in positions of authority have been placed there by God." So anyone who rebels against authority is rebelling against what God has instituted, and they will be punished. Now, I wish Paul hadn't said this. I'd love to not submit to the government when it's convenient or I disagree with them, but we must. For as Paul says, God has a purpose for placing them there, and those who rebel against authority are rebelling against God. So why do we have church membership? First reason, purely pragmatic and administrative in nature. It's a legal requirement. But secondly, and this one is really important to me, membership creates safety. How? How does membership create safety? In 2 ways. It creates safety on our journey of discipleship, but it also creates safety from matters of sin. Let's explore those a little bit and unpack each one of them. James chapter 5, verse 19 and 20 says this. He says, "My dear brothers and sisters, if someone among you wanders away from the truth and is brought back, you can be sure that whoever brings the sinner back from wandering will save that person from death and will bring about the forgiveness of many sins." Here's the truth we need to understand. All of us at some time or another wander from the truth. This isn't always backsliding or leaving the faith entirely. It's just getting off course in our journey of discipleship. And when we are members, we have people watching our backs and helping to keep us accountable and to keep us on track. There is safety in community. But secondly, it also provides safety for when we have to deal with sin. You know, the reality is we're all broken people. And from time to time, sin will rear its ugly head within our church, within our ministries, within our families, within our community. And when it does, it has the potential to really hurt people. So what do we do when that happens? We hold each other accountable so we can deal with these things in a right and God-honoring way. When you sign your membership renewal, it says this: "I commit to upholding the Cornerstone membership covenant and the membership requirements as found in the scriptures, as noted in Cornerstone's local church constitution and as outlined by the leadership of the church." There's a whole section in there on accountability, on interpersonal relationships. Good stuff. And we also say, as a member of Cornerstone, I will be accountable to the church leadership in matters concerning my relationship with God and with others. What is this? Why did we choose to include this? This is a safety net for you, members of our church, and for the church as an organization. there's a biblical process for dealing with matters of relational tension, of sin, of hurt, and so on, in order to bring healing, to bring reconciliation, and to protect those among us who are most vulnerable. This gives us permission to walk it through, to deal with these things in a God-honoring way. Why do we have membership? Number one, it's a legal requirement. Number two, membership provides safety in matters of sin and our journey of discipleship. And number three, membership helps us grow. It helps us become more fully devoted followers of Jesus Christ. And this is our ultimate goal. When you decide to become a church member, there are certain commitments that you make to live and act in such a way. Why? Because membership is one of the tools we have to help people take those next steps, to make those commitments, to become more and more like Jesus Christ. Paul says in Ephesians chapter 4 that God gave leaders to the church for this purpose. Now, these are the gifts Christ gave to the church: the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the pastors, and the teachers. Their responsibility is to equip God's people and to do His work and build up the church and the body of Christ. This will continue until we all come to such unity in our faith and knowledge of God's Son that we will be mature in the Lord, measuring up to the full and complete standard of Christ. In other words, membership is a part of our discipleship process to help us measure up to that full and complete standard of Jesus Christ. We want to help you become more and more like Jesus each and every day. Membership helps us do that. So why is membership important? Why does it even exist? Why does it matter? Number one, membership is a legal requirement. Number two, membership creates safety. And number three, membership helps us grow. Well, that concludes part 2 of our teaching on church membership. Next week, in part 3, we're going to look at what membership involves here at Cornerstone specifically. I hope you'll plan to join us for that. But before then, if you have any questions or just want to talk more about this, then let's grab coffee this week, because we know that as a church, we are better together.